Alright folks, we're back. Hello and welcome. We're getting into more of the TING qualifiers here in just a moment's time. Snute and Nerchio are currently doing vetoes, and as soon as they have the maps, get this party started. Bottom side of the bracket actually doesn't have that many matches, so hopefully that means that the double eliminations shouldn't keep us too far behind what our schedule, or I guess our projected schedule would be, but my sense of time is a little bit warped right now, actually, with how long the first series was into how short the second series was. It feels like we've been broadcasting longer than we have been.
Really? I actually feel like it's been kind of short for 2 hours.
Or, sorry, that's what I meant. Shorter than we have been, excuse me. That just kind of threw me off. But yeah, I guess while we're waiting, a lot of people are seeing the chat spam today. You guys have to understand, this particular individual's been doing this for like over a year. I don't know what he's planning to accomplish with this, but the fact that we have followers only mode on means that he's making an account, he's following the channel, then he leaves and probably waits several hours to go make a new account, comes back with all the accounts and starts spamming again. For me, at the end of the day, I'm just like, oh cool, it's more followers for the channel, I'll take it. Like, it's really not hurting anybody, because I'm not, like, we've said this before, there's no what I'm imagining is going on in this guy's brain is when the stream's done, he thinks like, okay, Reef turns the stream off and he takes off that brave face and he just starts crying to zombie girl like, guy keeps calling me fat, I know I'm not fat, it just keeps doing it. Like, none of that happens. Like, nobody actually cares what this guy does. It makes the mods a little bit more interested in what they're doing, because you know, you guys are actually so well behaved, sometimes our mods just kind of fuck off because there's nothing for them to do. For us as the broadcasters, again, like, it's free followers, I'll take that. Like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else to say about it other than that. I mean, the fat thing seems to be what he wants to hone in on, and it's like at this point, like, if anything, it's a badge of honor. Look at all these fucking beautiful streamers out there that got popular. When a fat guy does it, I think it's more impressive.
Guess so.
Anyways, enough about him. He doesn't deserve any attention. But just as an explanation, because some people in chat really are concerned, I just want to make sure you guys should be aware that there is actually nothing to be concerned about. You guys, don't worry. But anyways, hopefully the videos are finished up soon. I don't know if somebody went AFK or what.
It's possible that Snute was AFK.
It's been on the score screen for 55 minutes. That's actually quite a bit of time. Oh, speaking of channel followers, by the way, yeah, we're over 70,000 now, which is pretty darn cool. So thank you guys who follow the channel, and if you aren't already, make sure you do follow the channel so that you can always be informed of when we go live, as we are casting quite a bit of StarCraft over these next couple of months, to say the least. Oh yeah, and Matt Torino approached me. Did they message you about this?
No.
Okay, so Matt Torino sent me a message. They want to try and host an event in the very near future, but I'm kind of like a bit tight on time. We'll see what we can do, but you should be aware that, you know, IEM's got like hella events going on right now. So like, even if we had time to do something, it still might not be worth it for you to throw like a show match in the middle of like an IEM finals or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a busy time.
I'm actually, speaking of busy time, I'm really excited for the BTSL finals we got coming up, which is hours from now. How many? Not 15 or something? I'm guessing. 17. Damn it. Yeah, the monthly finals for the BTSL is looking awesome. Everybody who qualified through has accepted their invites, which is awesome as well. So Beyond Impact, Beal, Solar, Stats, Classic, Hero, and Alive. Alive, by the way, we gotta give Alive like an MVP shout out of the month. This guy qualified for the Alima League monthly finals, the BTSL monthly finals, and the Corsair Cup monthly finals, while still winning prize pools from each as every week goes by. Alive isn't finishing first and being like a super dominant Korean, but he is without a doubt the most active player across all regions, because this is European and Korean time things and European server side things that he's qualifying through for.
When does it say to talk about GSL?
I wouldn't say today. I don't know. I haven't seen the results on it yet or anything. How long ago was it? It wasn't even that long ago, was it?
8 hours ago.
8 hours?
Actually, I found the best use of my Chromecast. So I bought it. Oh, the plays are ready. So we're on Abyssal Reef, by the way. They made the map. But I bought a Chromecast because I wanted to use it in hotel rooms, and then I didn't research enough and didn't realize it doesn't work. A Fire Stick will work, but Chromecast won't. So I was like, well, fuck, like, it's $20. I really want to go to Best Buy and get, like, my refund back. Not really. So I just had it lying around. Well, I set up my PlayStation and my TV. I plugged it in because maybe I'll use it one day. And I finally found a good use for it because I don't watch TV. And it's waking up at odd times in the night and wanting to watch something on my phone, but on a bigger screen. So I could just sit in bed with my cat and not have to get up and only press, like, 2 buttons. It was fantastic.
I'm kind of in the same category, except I've been using the remote desktop just to basically control my computer so I can lay back in bed and watch it.
That's also a good one. The TV's a little bit bigger, though. This TV is like 12 inches bigger than the one I was going to buy. The same price. What's up with that? What's up with that, anyway?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1 of the semifinals for the winners bracket of the TING Open Season 3. Make sure to stop off and check out our awesome sponsors over on bttv.ting.com. It would really mean a lot to us. But kicking it off here in the top left of Abyssal Reef, this is an underwater map. It's Team Liquid Snute.
In the bottom right is the red Zerg. He is a Nerchio.
So it's kind of cool about this map. I don't know if they've kept the effect in. I'm going to assume that they have. But the way it would work is all those silly animations we saw just now with the Reapers and the SCVs, that should happen to every unit that dies on this map. As, again, with it being underwater, the corpses float to the surface.
Cloud Shark! Oh, he's there!
Well, the shadow is.
It's only a shadow.
Oh. He's so far
and there's
up.
There's an even bigger one in the bottom! Oh my god!
What? Where?
Oh, the overflow just went past it.
Oh.
It's huge, though! Trust me! Anyway, what is the other underwater map that existed?
I think this was it, wasn't it?
No. The thirds were very different.
Okay, well, I was just going to say, because I remember this one being part of, like, NASL and stuff.
No. There was one in GSL that had a partial expansion to the front that you could take if you wanted. But, it was only minerals, I think, or something like that. And it was a different color palette, too. Like, it was much darker. This is actually, like, all types of flora and, like, coral reef and sharks and fishes.
You're right. There was something, because they had watchtowers in the middle of the map, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Abyssal City, maybe, or something.
Oh, actually, that might have been it. That might be perfect.
I actually may have been confusing the two.
City.
I may have actually been confusing those two maps for a while too. Abyssal Reef, I thought was that one, but yeah, you might be right.
It was Abyssal City.
Okay. Nice. Well, anyways, one thing I noticed immediately, Abyssal Reef actually has kind of not great wall-off potential, so things like Ling attacks I actually think are great. And Snute, looking to be the aggressor, comes across the map, and he's going to be hitting Nerchio's third right around now. But Nerchio does have Lings on the way, and he's not going to be, I think, in any dire straits anytime soon.
No, this is not just a win here. I mean, Snute might be able to escape, though, which is good news for him, because his speed's a little bit faster. If he doesn't commit. There we go. It's a very weird map. There's so many pathways, and no rocks really to block many. One is blocked by rocks, but there's many others that all lead to the same place. So I can imagine this being very obnoxious in ZvZ, since you're going to need, like, I would say 4 overlords. 3 probably for the main pass, I suppose, and then maybe 4th for the ones that are really far away, but I would not want to play on this map.
That was so dangerous, because he had no idea the bailing timings there. That could have been real messy.
But the banelings are here, so Nerchio cannot really get anything done. He's going to go into roaches and just skip his own banelings, which is dangerous but possible.
Flying.
He did not.
I hope we see plenty more of that.
Oh no!
Oh, there we go. Everybody's going up to the surface is what's happening there.
Wow, they really upped
They really did up the way that were.
It looks like an explosion. Usually it just kind of floats, you know?
I know, that was so great. I don't know if you played the new co-op for Ulnar New Year, but they kind of look like the firework explosions that go off on that map, even just with the Ling corpses flying every which way. But I guess some of them aren't going to be explosive and cool; they'll just die on the ground, and some are going to go straight to heaven.
Oh God!
This ends up not doing much damage, but Nerchio's a little bit temporarily behind for this. He's just made 13 drones to make up for it. Him and Snute are on a fairly even drone count, but the income graph will show you like the floating differences as they were making their drone rounds at separate times.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that is a faster lair for Nerchio, and they both just go ahead and get into Roach Warrens and +1. So Snute, he made a couple of Banelings as a bit of a... It would have been useless if they didn't get those great shots, so that doesn't really just take away from his game too much, but he is the one catching up on drones. Yeah, Lings actually get in here and get a really nice scout, and they're looking for at least 1 or 2 drones.
Yeah, but Nerchio at the same time is doing a great job of guarding his drones. I mean, the layer scout was pretty huge. Just that alone would have justified these Lings dying, but the fact he's trying to get kills, and he's still not getting them, this was an excellent defense out of Nerchio.
Yeah, it was. Well, he's not starting his roach speed as quickly as he could, so Snute might not be too far behind on that. And that's really what we're going to be waiting on, is the roach wars. One with skins, one with not.
That's kind of cool. I'll help differentiate them a bit, I guess. But also, Nerchio's going to just look cooler, so sorry, Snute. You lose. This isn't like the Stalkers, okay?
Skins are the opposite of skins in real life. Like, when you play shirts or skins, it's about taking off something. Or skins. Because that's what I was going to go for, shirts or skins. But it's really like Nerchio's roaches are wearing another shirt. But it's like a plate of armor.
What if everyone was already in skins and Nerchio's put on shirts?
Ah, but they're called skins. That's why it's confusing.
Ah, you're true. That's right.
Yeah, that's why I am. Yeah.
Or you're right. That's true. One of the other. Overlord gets picked off, so gonna deny a little bit of scouting, and it looks like Snute's gonna continue being the aggressor this game. This isn't super surprising because Snute's quite good at this game, but it's weird because I think every time I guess we've seen him more recently, it's been against the laser, and he's been the one on the constant defense in almost every scenario. So it's kind of cool seeing him be the one to get aggressive.
What? These fish are so fast. Did you see them? Pew! Pew! Pew!
They kind of are, actually. Yeah. I wonder if we passed to that fish or a medevac boosting. Alright, Corsair's still continuing to try and pick off those overlords. He's got to be careful, though, because unfortunately Snute doesn't have the greatest overlords himself, and I don't believe he saw this attack coming towards his third.
Oh no, this could be really bad. I mean, he's already invested in Spire. He doesn't even have the army, much less defending against a split.
Oh, that Queen Corpse. Never they go into the space again, not the space, I guess, but to the surface. So he's going to lose his 4th, which is, I think, an acceptable loss. He was a little bit greedy reaching out for it the way he did, but unfortunately, he's still taking losses at the 3rd. So it's not exactly like he traded out, sacrificed the 4th to defend the 3rd. He's just going to sacrifice the 4th and still losing at the 3rd. My God, like jet propulsion on these corpses. Also, yo, big shoutouts to the main man, the Protoss Pariah. It's Hearthstone for that 12 months. Does this guy want a Partouf? Because this guy just qualified for a Partouf.
I gotta send Hearthstone for Partouf.
You gonna put some perfume on top of that Partouf?
Just soak it in the package.
Big lipstick smack of a kiss on the front, too. Okay, the attack commences over here on the left side, but Nerchio managed to sneak roaches into Snute's natural. So again, his corpse is flying. This battle looks so much cooler. I'm going to be completely honest, but the mutas are winning the main fight. But Snute's kind of losing out on the side. Like, he didn't lose a lot of drones through this, but he lost his army to it, and Nerchio's now chasing that directly towards the main.
Going for a Spire like this, what Nerchio did, can be so dangerous. It can in fact be game-ending.
So, are the mutas flying or are they swimming right now?
Oh my God. Well, how is everyone on the ground?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Aren't they all swimming?
Wouldn't this be the one time roaches could actually stack on a totem pole and shoot the mutas?
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Base trade memes.
I don't know, but the point I was getting at is that Snute, now that he's safely taken care of that push, should actually be in a lead here. He is in a lead, with army supply, but he's behind in upgrades and behind in economy, so the game's not over, but Muta should give him a decent amount of control in this game.
Oh, someone clipped that moment. I gotta go see. Oh no, it's just something's wrong. The clip's not found. No! Yeah, this map, I will say right now, like, I don't even care if it's good or bad for games. It is already the most entertaining just due to the physics of everything dying. And of course, when Snute's army and Nerchio's are trading out, you see corpses flying left and right. It almost looks like there's good micro going on, but it's just corpses floating to the surface.
It almost looks like they have good micro.
Whoosh, close up on that one. By the way, the physics engine is unique to each person observing the game, so it's not always going to look the same to my camera as it does to Zombie or even Snute's and Nerchio's.
Similar at all. I got lucky, I guess, last time we cast, but I've only seen like one really funny explosion. But anyways, I really wish they actually had the cloud sharks. Like, why just the shadow?
Because we're really deep into the ocean, Zombie.
So this is where like we're gonna have those fish that have the little light on their heads.
No, we have to go even deeper for that.
This is where we're gonna find dinosaurs.
We're really deep, not really very deep, okay?
You gotta tell me, which fish are we looking at here? Oh, is it the giant octopus with like the 20-foot tentacles? Oh god. You see that? That looks like, oh, it looks Cthulhu.
It's a Cthulhu Zerg action, man. Because Zerg are all about infesting things. Why don't they invest the underwater life?
Yo, they should. They should create a tentacle monster.
Or consume the essence, you know?
Octopus, like, Abither, get on it.
Get Daka to consume essence.
Ugh. Ugh.
Alright, does manage to get around the main army with the Muta, so he's harassing into the base. Queen is going to die, unfortunately, but can Nerchio even afford to pull back any of these units from the front line? Snute's main army pushing has actually been very devastatingly strong, and his army supply reigns supreme through this. 31 roaches to 16. Hydras are good, and we know this, but unfortunately we also know that just lots of roaches beats lots of Hydras.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. The attack paths on this map are so awkward for real large-scale engagements, because it's nothing but paths. Jokes.
I want to, like, get a compilation of all these corpses, play slow music, and if you guys have never heard the song Majestic from like that Family Guy episode, have that just playing in the background. I think it'd be perfect. But okay, this is getting a little bit out of hand. Snute's lead just extending further and further, and at a time upgrades were a problem. Now they're even. His army's rocking and rolling, and Nerchio's lost. You know, that base was a pretty important base.
Yeah, it was.
This attack at a Snute might not be so good though. He's eating a lot of corrosive biles. I think he's trying too hard to end this for Nerchio, or maybe he's just looking elsewhere with the Mutas. I don't know, but right now he's losing a lot in the front lines, but it looks like it's going to be just barely enough to maybe still break Nerchio.
That was dangerous. He was running out of that roach fodder. He was starting to lose his Ravagers.
Yeah, the Mutas will clean this up, so it won't be a complete loss for Snute, but this was still really risky. I really don't know about that fight, but he pushes through, so more power to him.
Yeah, he still has that decent army supply lead, and, you know, did manage to even up upgrades a while ago. So another base is going to go down. Nerchio has already expanded to another base, but it's not, you know, not going too hot. He's also lost his initial drone lead. Seems looking good. I think if anyone who wins here will probably just win the upper bracket.
I mean,
the Braddock and DNS.
So that's my asterisk on that, though, right? Because Braddock is actually a surprisingly good player somebody's been out of the scene for a while.
I would actually give it to DNS over the two of them to go up against one of these third. I think DNS has had some clever Protoss action, whereas Braddock is a Terran player. I think it just is mostly.
Oh, that Roach Horn's so close to going down. If he gets rid of this, that kills production for Nerchio. Really wish he would have dived in for those last couple of hits.
Maybe. He's already building another Roach Warren, but this is just money that he doesn't have. He's already triple expanded and lost 2 of the expansions, so he's just barely mining off the right one. I don't think Snute knows about it.
Oh, up here, yeah. You know, I wish we got these really cool graphs. I wish there was a way to customize them in game though, and like find out, for example, corrosive bile damage done for each. Like find out just how many have been landed basically for one player versus the other. Just so you guys are aware, all data in StarCraft is available. Like we could see in it, we see time supply blocked. Like you could put requests in to have graphs done a certain way, but I think the resources that are required to make those happen are just not worth it.
Yeah, I don't
unfortunately.
think it's really.
It's one of those cool things that would be nice to be able to see for sure. This base does get completely mangled by the mutalisks.
Yep. Nerchio must know, like, struggling to get above 120 supply, the game is over. Yeah.
Snute, gonna take game number 1. And uh-oh, Remar says he's got that clip. Let's see if this is the right one. This is such a cool highlight if this is done.
Oh no!
Oh, there we go. Everybody's going up. Okay, you watching that clip, how similar was that to the version you saw in game? I'm just curious.
The Link to the Surface one?
Yeah. Just flying everywhere, like every which way.
Oh, what is this quality? 480. Why? Oh, not at all similar. One Zergling went up to my...
Oh, so you saw, yeah, like all of them shot every different direction on my screen.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Well, credits a shout to Remar for that clip. I went and tweeted it because it's just too darn cool not to share. Anyways, it's a best of 3, so we are still waiting for the players to get us their next map or host it themselves. So we might just need a moment here. But yeah, the other side has, with DNS being Protoss, Braddock being Terran, like it's guaranteed not to be a ZvZ finals, which is nice, but you are right. Like Nerchio and Snute are both such good players. They definitely have a bit of favoritism going into that finals, without a doubt.
A bit.
But looks like we'll be waiting a moment here. So while we do, I guess squeeze in a commercial break. Didn't intend to, but we'll take the advantage of downtime. I'll see you guys soon. All right, folks, welcome back. Game number 2 in this best of 3. Playing out here for the TING Season 3 qualifiers. Once again, please do us a favor. Check out our sponsors over on bttv.ting.com. They're making this tournament happen, and of course, they're helping us make that live finals a reality. Supposedly, we have a meeting after the broadcast today with the folks who are in charge of the venue, and then after that, hopefully, we can announce the venue, which I think will be pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
It's actually like super duper cool. I'm not trying to tease you guys. I'm that excited to possibly get to talk about it sooner. But anyways, game number 2 kicks off, and bottom right side of the map we got the blue Terran. Nope, the blue Zerg player. Excuse me, it's Liquid Snute.
In the top. Wow. Okay. Great. In the top left is the red Zerg. He is Nerchio.
Well, we both nailed those intros.
I blame the lack of hydration. Need another water map. Oh.
Yeah, well, actually, isn't it like water actually dehydrates you or something?
No.
Like you drink water and it's good for you, but if you like, I can't remember. Someone was talking about this. Like too much water is a bad thing. Is what it is. Point I'm trying to make.
I do know that. Yes, there's actually a Jackie Chan movie based off that idea. That was terrible.
Excuse you. All Jackie Chan movies are amazing.
Oh no, it was terrible. It opened up with the scene of a deer walking in the woods, and then it did a close up on its butt and it started peeing in the water, and then it watched the pee like go through the water like filtration systems, because it was a movie about a big water corporation that was like figuring out how to kill people by like drowning them.
What
like,
movie
by making
was
them
this? I do
dehydrated.
not remember. I've seen most Jackie Chan movies, and I do not remember this. This sounds horrible. What?
I'm gonna look it up. Hold on.
Of course, for me, number 1 Jackie Chan thing is always gonna be Jackie Chan Adventures. Best cartoon growing up. Seriously.
He didn't actually voice that, did he?
Yeah, that was actually him. I thought. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's been years since I've seen it, obviously. I always just remember Uncle. One more thing. Jackie!
Yeah. Oh, I remember. It was the tuxedo. Because Jackie Chan wasn't originally like very good at martial arts, but he wears this tuxedo and it gives him like special powers.
Oh my god. Okay, well, same thing out of Snute, similar to last game. Like both players keeping up on bases with one another, but Snute runs across the map and he darts towards that third. So not gonna muck around with drones or anything. He just wants to get a cancel, maybe even a kill on this base. I mean, Nerchio, once again, he has his own links coming on the way. This is very similar to the way things looked last time. Difference is, I think Snoot's gonna maybe actually get the kill on this base.
I don't.
This would be
It's kind
huge.
of close without speed on Nerchio's lings, and It's getting it quite low, which is...
He could play Ring Around the Rosie.
Nah, I think he figures speed's gonna finish up with both of them. It's not gonna be worth it, which he's not wrong. But now that he's a Baneling Nest, he could really commit to this, because like a couple more taps on it, and it would be like close to death, and you just pop 2 Banelings, and boom. It might be worth.
Alright, so he falls back, but of course, speed being done for both. Nerchio's in hot pursuit. Snoot's got a lot of lings waiting, and of course that Baneling Nest will be starting up some Banelings soon. I love that he does this with the low health lings. I always love to see that precision and perfection, but Nerchio manages to slip by. Snute was looking to the left, and Nerchio went right. It's the Kansas City Shuffle, and this is going to be a little bit tough to defend. You can drone stack, you can try and hide around that queen, but it's still a lot of lings.
Yeah, it's 3 drones worth of damage, not bad. Plus Nerchio buys all this time to get to a Roach Warren, although he's just continuing to make lings, so it might be more than just, you know, transitioning into roaches. He could do an all-in, but I don't think going off 29 drones is usually the way to do it. We'll see. I mean, Snute has a Baneling Nest. He should be the one winning Ling Wars, but he doesn't have enough ready to go right now.
Well, looks like the Banelings are going to be enough to drive this back, but it's still not that many Banelings. I like that he had that one brought to the side to try and run around, but in doing so, left his natural defenseless, and Nerchio sneaks in again with lings.
The 15 army supply advantage in lings is not too scary when Banelings are available, but Snute just cannot get these Baneling connections.
Yeah, and let's not forget, it's not sticking on lings for much longer either. It's moving towards roaches, and Snute in that regard starting to really trail behind. I mean, his own Roach Warren finished up, but his money's not there. His supply is going to be behind, and unless he gets like an amazing, just absolutely amazing Baneling hit, it's going to be really hard to actually have the lings get a surround on the roaches.
Snute is being very careful about it. Well, it's not looking too good. These aren't that many roaches, but the ling, you know, they snipe the Banelings, and the lings will overwhelm. That's all he needs them for.
Shout out to the other people in chat who remember Jackie Chan Adventures.
Okay, not bad connections. There's too many Banelings for the roaches to actually focus fire, and they run into more. Finally, Snute with enough Banelings.
Yeah, he should probably not waste the rest of these on the roaches, but cleaning this up, definitely a good feeling, because this was a big loss. This was a much bigger loss for Nerchio than I feel like the damage was dealt to Snute. It hurt Snute early on, and he was kind of feeling that pressure, but that Baneling hit right on those lings really helped alleviate that difference, that army supply lead.
Yeah, it really was the army supply. Snute had been stable on drones despite losing some. It was just the army that could have snowballed, but he recovered, and he's in a fine position now. He does need to add a... oh no, he does a Roach Warren. Okay, so he just needs to add roaches whenever he sees them moving across the map. If they even move across the map.
By the way, a couple folks in chat saying that Jackie Chan did in fact actually play his voice in the cartoon. I was just thinking, how great would it be to have some sort of mashup with the Jackie Chan Adventures and the Mike Tyson Mysteries? Have both of them actually playing the characters in like this really awful cartoon. I would take it. I would dig it. Thank you, Wesley Hill, for the 3-month resub, and somebody just donated some buckaroos our way. Saratoga donated 15 bucks. Saratoga 3, but no message. So just the blanket thank you, I suppose.
Thank you. We have Nerchio adding on a couple of spine crawlers. Yeah, I was gonna say despite adding on army units as well. So there it is, back into droning. I guess Snute is not bothering with his own roaches and was just piling on lings. I guess he saw a potential advantage because he has Banelings, so the lings of Nerchio can't help out. And if you have enough lings against roaches, you all know a surround is very effective. But he's the one that's kind of getting got here. He pulled back, getting scouted. And Nerchio just has to make army, and I think he'll be fine. Queen. Pretty important when you're just depending purely on lings. And Snoot's just gonna go for it. I really don't think this is gonna work. And he's put himself pretty far behind by not droning.
Yeah, cutting the drones for this all-in is risky to say the least. If the Banelings hit the heart of the roaches and there's no splits, this might be different, but lots of lings get us around without the reinforcements behind them. They're on the way, but so far away, and I'm not feeling it for Snute. I want this to work. I think it'd be really cool, but Nerchio just has too many roaches.
Yeah, if he had upgrades, it might be a different...
Yeah, plus one melee or something? Yeah.
Not bad Baneling hit, but
even then, it takes everything to clean up one of the 3 squads of roaches, right? Like.
Yeah. He was trying to run a little bit behind this, but now he doesn't have enough money or gas actually to go into his own roaches. So Nerchio, whenever he does decide to counterattack, not even gonna wait for it. GG.
Nice way to tie it up on 1 and a great defense out of Nerchio in that second game. But okay, that's going to lead into game number 3. So nice series we got going on here. Looks like DNS did in fact beat Braddock, by the way. So the winner of this will fight against DNS.
Alrighty then.
I'm so sad that I missed out on this pun. You guys got me good. I'm just seeing in the chat. One more ting, Jackie. All right. Cactus Valley gonna be the third and final map between these two. A very interesting map pool to say the least. Starting with Abyssal Reef and so forth, but.
I like it though. Didn't see Abyssal Reef at all yesterday.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Or yeah. Belshir, or Newkirk, or Paladino, or Proxima.
Oh, wait a minute. You've seen Belshir. Hold on a second.
Not yesterday. But okay, game's starting up. Let's hop into it. I know I'm laying it on a little bit thick, guys, but I really do like TING. Great sponsors to have and great people to work with. And I want them to keep doing great stuff with StarCraft. Actually, a bit of a side note, too, is I think it's this weekend that Shellcraft's happening, right?
I think so, yeah. We don't have anything planned this weekend.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about us. I'm just saying TING's sponsoring Shellcraft now, too, which is really cool. So, double your action, double your fun.
Well, that's how I remember, is that if we're not doing anything, it's probably because something else is happening.
That's a good metric to measure by. Because, yeah, we got to avoid things most of the time. I love Total Biscuit, too, just, like, really saying, good luck, ESL. Like, we're just going to do our thing.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's not good.
I'm pretty sure Shellcraft's going to be the dominant broadcaster on that particular day. But anyways, game number 3. Things are tied up now 1-1. And in the upper right side of the map, we got the blue Zerg player, Team Liquid Snutes.
In the bottom left is the red Zerg. He is Nerchio.
Alright, so in both games, Snute has been the one to get aggressive and get across the map, try and deal that damage. One game it worked out really well, one game obviously didn't work out so well. But actually, even on that point, I'll take that back, because in game 1, it wasn't really his early game damage that won him it. It was like the mutas and the harass and the whatever afterwards. And actually, just thinking on that one step further, Snute, when the muta timing was hitting, didn't even look that solid on Abyssal Reef. Like, that was actually kind of scary for him in terms of like his army supply versus Nerchio's army supply. So maybe this is a map where if Cactus Valley being as big as it is, 4-player base, yada yada yada, he's heading that direction, he might have a better luck with it, I guess? I don't know.
Maybe. Certainly, Cactus Valley doesn't lend well to thirds, so Protosses are really inclined to base all in. Terrans are, well, Terrans kind of get it with anything, I suppose. We're special that way. But the point is, in ZvZ, yeah, they can take a third, but it's going to be like a headache defending it. So with the small wall off, I would imagine one of these guys just goes for the Roach Evolution Chamber wall off.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty easy to do on the map if you get that creep spread. But thank you to, I'm going to assume this is Methiz, but M4 Fizz, as well as Starpants, both for subbing to the channel. Starpants, of course, just hit their 12-month sub, though, so make sure you send us a message to get one of these real-life Partouf things that we've heard so much about.
Nice. Nice. Alright, so third base is going to be taken by Nerchio. We'll see if Snute does match it. No, Snute's once again going to go for the Banelings. He does. I guess it was these two that were doing this. There's so many Zergs, of course, in Europe that's we've been casting that I can't quite remember, but there was one series where the exact same thing happened. One person really liked Banelings, the other person really did not like Banelings. And it might have been these two, I don't remember. But Nerchio finally adds his own Baneling nests. I guess he's a little worried, you know. He got away with it fine in the second game, but that first game, you know, his lack of Banelings did contribute a little bit to the early game. And
yeah.
Interesting.
Not to mention, Snute has been going so Ling heavy that just having Banelings would probably be an asset against somebody who plays like that.
Yeah.
But both players were chasing each other's Lings around the map. Nobody really got too much scouting information, unfortunately. So Snute and Nerchio both going to take their thirds kind of blindly. Both got those Baneling nests. Getting kind of blindly, but they'll probably have a good idea of what's going on. The thing about Snute and Nerchio that I appreciate more than most other players is they are very, very smart. And it doesn't
all those
take
other players
much.
are really dumb.
Well, I'm not saying that, but it really doesn't take much for them to know exactly what's going on. If you guys haven't seen Snute streaming these last couple of days, he's been streaming, first off, crazy long hours. But what I love about Snute stream is he's also... He goes pretty in-depth about everything he's doing, and he talks about it to quite extensive amounts.
Oh.
That failing hit, though, was so good. And Nerchio doesn't know what hit him, but he's still got some more lings running in, so Snute's not quite free of troubles yet. But that was certainly a great bailing hit to start off the defense.
He really wanted to save that queen.
Yeah, spending 150 minerals is no fun.
Yeah, and the time lost in the larva when you are both going for lings is scary. You don't want to be microing and macroing very well, but then miss 2 injects and have less lings. So it's usually not that clear cut. Usually banelings, of course, help make up for that. You do have less lings, but it's scary.
Yeah, realizing that he's starting to go a little bit far off creep, I like that Snute fought back. I mean, banelings are actually a very precious commodity. You don't want to have one ling pick them off and trade out 1 for 1. You really have to get those good hits. But good or bad hits aside, both players are mining off their thirds, and things seem to have calmed down for a brief moment. But Nerchio's wrapping in from the south side.
Banelings, certainly enough banelings. Not too bad here. And Snute does have a bit of a drone lead temporarily, and things are going to be advancing 2 roaches.
Oh, no one Bailey at the top of the ramp. Feels bad. Queens are actually in a nice position in both bases, the main and natural, so they won't get surrounded. But the drones, unfortunately, are a little bit harder to hold on to and defend. So 6 workers going down through this.
You just didn't have any lings, so the banelings are just too slow. Wow.
But it's interesting, too, because Snute isn't exactly, like, catapulting towards a spire or anything quite so strange this game. Oh,
Take that off right there again. No, I didn't get it.
Just look at it. I mean, it's a Bailey. It doesn't have much health. Or should. Maybe not. Small scuffle in the middle of the map, trying to catch the reinforcements. So a couple of free hits here and there, but both players are moving towards roaches, and Nerchio, just made, like, what was that, like 9 roaches?
Oh, that's banling.
I'm really worried
in
for
some
Snute.
of those things.
There's going to be this lull where Nerchio has to move across the middle of the map, and it's kind of slow and kind of takes some time to go with those roaches. But, he popped out 9, Snute made 1. Like, that's the difference in what their production started off with. So while there's going to be this minor offense, like, defender's advantage, look at the numbers, guys. It's 12-1. Those are also the odds of Snute defending, like, not looking good. 10 more roaches are about to pop, though, so maybe this won't be so bad.
Yeah, I think he's got it. The lack of roach speed means Nerchio really won't ever be truly threatening unless he seriously had a surprise timing. And Snute is... Gotta be careful. Like, if his roaches get picked off 1 by 1, then that is the snowball effect. But Nerchio doesn't have a quick enough reinforcement point. He'll just disengage. Not too bad.
Okay, so this is no one-sided game just yet, but it is worth noting Snute's going to be a little bit behind in upgrades as his Evo chamber comes down a bit later. What was cool to see, though, and this is what I'll take from that Abyssal Reef game. If we ignore the mutas for a brief moment, because the mutas were negligible to this point, Snute was landing a lot more corrosive bios than Nerchio was, I felt, and through a lot of these engagements, it almost looked like better micro, although it's hard to really gauge because, again, it's ZvZ. But I feel like in this scenario, I really liked Snute better for that first game. If he can play the same way, if he can get the Ravagers out, I think it'd be just fine for game 3 here.
Yep. A little bit supply blocked, and yes, certainly behind in this game, but Nerchio's going to take advantage of that in more ways than one. So he feels fine, probably, not knowing that he could defend whatever Snute has to throw at him. But to add in a Spire, Snute adds in a Spire too. I think he's not the one that has to be worried about being attacked before it's quite ready to go and losing the game for it. Snute would probably be the one if Nerchio was dedicating entirely to roaches.
This is such a Euro thing to do as well. Like, go to that Spire.
Ugh. Terrible currency.
Yeah, their dollar bills tilted me, I'm going to be honest, more in Germany.
Oh, really? They had dollar bills?
Like, the not dollar, euro bills, whatever, but you know what I mean? Like, the bills.
Oh, you mean, I thought you meant one, like 1 euro. They're like,
no, because, like, I get, like, it's better that the sizes are different, but it's just annoying how different they are.
No, I actually like the euro. I just don't like coins. So, that has it. I guess overall, I like the Canadian money less.
Canadians get rid of the penny, but we got the toonie.
Yeah, you guys have coins and you have this money that feels like a receipt in my pocket, so I really like it.
All right, multiple attacks on multiple fronts, so Snoot's going to struggle to defend. He gives up the 4th. Again, that was kind of a bit greedy for him to reach for in the first place anyways, but
Yeah.
Nerchio gets damage done while getting Mutalisks out. And normally you're doing damage at the cost of getting Mutalisks out, or taking damage at the cost of getting Mutalisks out. So for me, watching Nerchio casually make 12 mutas while he knocks down Snoot's 4th, that just shows so much dominance. Like, he is the alpha male here in this matchup.
And Snoot's in a lot of trouble, actually. He doesn't know that mutas... Neither of them know that they went for mutas, but you can kind of guess, as European Zergs getting the roaches typically do. One of them is very likely to go for mutas. So now he sees them, and he's got to know that he just won't have as many mutas. So he tried to go for an infestation pit, but that's only going to help out so much.
That could certainly help out more than just the mutagame, though. Obviously, if you hit those fungal growths, that's best. But you can also catch some of the roaches, force them to eat the corrosive biles. There's some good combinations that could come from this, but Snute doesn't have that many Ravagers. So if this was like he's going for Infestors after having like 5 Ravagers out, I like that move a lot more. But it's literally like 1 Ravager for Snute. It's not that many corrosive biles.
Well, for me, it's the fact that Nerchio has so many mutas, so they really do need to be taken out with the help of fungals, but you don't have fungals quite yet. And he still has a really fearsome ground army. So this is all just about buying time, looking scary enough that Nerchio doesn't end your life while that Patching Gland upgrade finishes up.
This does put the game in a bit of a gamble for Snoot's hands, though, because if he misses or just gets a halfway decent fungal, it's not going to be enough. And again, like even if he lands those chain fungals, there's so much more than the mutas to worry about right now. It's that ground army from Nerchio looks so good. So many roaches, so many Ravagers. So it does have more roaches, I guess worth noting. But again, they'll be picked off by the mutas over time. Of course, Corsair Gear's landing too, getting some good hits, some good shots. I mean, the army supplies are still pretty even. Here comes 6 Infestors, though, and I really want to see this change the game. Because, again, the gamble here is Snute might screw up with these Infestors, and they'll be an absolute waste. However, if he lands those money fungals, he might just win the series and the game off of it.
Yeah, these fungals, 6 of them actually kind of even, I would say, turn the tides maybe a little bit more to Snute. Nerchio now sees them, is going to be a lot more careful with his mutas, just gets rid of his ground army too, just in case they get fungaled as well. And
yeah, that's like a so-so fungal to begin with too.
Yeah, it really wasn't that great. Like, getting that perfect fungal off the bat would have been amazing. Didn't happen. Nerchio's still in the lead here, but Snute has given himself a tool to come back with. Nerchio's, in fact, really in the lead. 4th base, gonna have better upgrades. Oh, no, he's not gonna have better upgrades.
I do want to point out, it was just the other day on Reddit, there was like that money fungal thread from Snute. So again, like he's good with these units. He's practiced. This isn't some desperation move out of him. This is something he wanted to do. But it is going to rely on Nerchio making mistakes like clumping up. And it's not something you can just like catch mutas AFK in the middle of the map with, right?
Oh, maybe you can get Burrow. That'd be cool. And Nerchio is going up to Banelings and a Hive.
Yeah, I forgot. Infestors can cast everything while burrowed now. That would actually be really cool.
Might be worthwhile. But, you know, on 3 bases, Snoot's the one's going to have to really pick and choose his upgrades. Nerchio, obviously already advancing his upgrades and his tech, could also afford
Hive.
Burrow. It's really preparing for Vipers very quickly.
I was going to say, interesting to see. Quinn's going to get picked off, though, but everything's clumped up. Where are those fungal growths?
Way too far away. Snoot's feeling confident with his maxed out army with Hydras, Roaches, and Infestors. He just needs to make sure not to take too much damage to the Banelings.
Oh, fungal on top of himself isn't too bad, but unfortunately it's not going to be that amazing. He tried to throw some corrosive biles down too, but they had to split himself up, so he's killing some of the mutas. Like, nice work. Good job, Snute. And the army supply on the ground still favors him barely, so I'm not sure how effective the Banelings will be.
I don't think they are being effective.
He's only got 1 fungal left, though, which is really, truly scary. His small amount of mutas, 4 of them are actually holding their own. Nerchio's down to 3 mutas. Snoot's starting to really take control of the game.
The mutas were going to be a good addition to the army. It was also the fact that his Banelings, the real kicker, the ones that's supposed to kill the Hydras, or maybe the Infestors, it was that they were fungal. There was never that beautiful 20 Banelings caught in a fungal. They filtered in, behind the army, and barely couldn't catch the Hydras that one time they got close.
Well, the
army's good for Snute.
Yeah, it's certainly started to tilt in his favor, and of course these infestors are gathering more energy, so eventually they'll be able to throw out new fungals, more fungals. Nerchio's doubling down, going back into the mutas for production. Whatever for that regard. I'm really worried about his ground army, though. Roach counts are pretty much even. The Ravagers for Nerchio are amazing in comparison.
What? Used.
What?
Rocks are broken.
Oh, I was like, what are you freaking out about? Yeah, I guess that's kind of cool.
Rocks are never broken, but in this scenario, he really wants to try and catch Nerchio.
Yeah, point to point between bases, but instead ends up maybe getting pincered himself a little bit. Fungal growth goes down on some of that army, but he doesn't have the corrosives to follow it up. Gets a couple of hits afterwards. Snute now in retreat. I was going to say, the Ravager count was going to be gambly and dicey. I like the Hydras for more consistent damage, but now Snute is the one who might be in trouble. He's up in army supply, but Nerchio's taking the better army fights. Yeah,
that was all types of awkward due to the positioning he found himself in, and infestors were also trailing a little bit too far forward, so he's down to 2, but 1 has double fungals. Going into lurkers now. Ooh. Ew.
Ooh, we haven't actually seen lurkers in quite some time. I don't know how good they'll be. If it is something where Snoot's identified that Nerchio's not going back to air, then I think lurkers are a fantastic choice. Better than Hydras. But at the same time, so many corrosive biles on units that can't move, they might be picked off one at a time. He also doesn't have really time to morph them either. Here comes the attack.
Well, it's an attack that Snute can deal with. Nerchio will probably never win with an attack like this. Unless his corrosive biles all hit.
Corrosive biles really just yell scatter.
By win, I mean he probably won't steamroll over Snute. Like, he might take a good fight, but I think Snute won't let him win. He'll always be wise in his engagements.
That being said, Snoot's not protecting his 4th base, which is at this point an incredibly important base because he's essentially on 1 base mining. Main and naturals are pretty much empty and dry. We got idle drones up there too. So defending this will not be easy. He's tried to split his army in half to do so, but this is risky.
Yeah, this wasn't the most perfect splits. It was pretty close to it.
This is where I really like the idea of lurkers, though. Being able to just set down like 2 lurkers to defend that base. Harass will no longer be an option. But looks like we're going to have the attack in the middle. Soon coming from the south side. Ends up not syncing up with his other army. He's going to lose units for this.
These engagements have constantly been awkward for Snute, who really needs position to help with his fungals.
Yeah, speaking of which, more fungals come down, but the damage they deal on load is so minimal. It comes down to what follows up, what combos with those fungals. But holding a lot of those Ravagers in place gets a lot of big kills. And Nerchio now on the retreat. Not a lot to fall back to. 22 new roaches are on the way.
Oh no, that's not useful. Cover take out the mutas. Okay, big whoop. But Nerchio is just at a very bad army supply. I mean, the army of Snute was better. It was Mass Ravager versus Roach Hydra Infestor, but it was positioning that made it look even. And then once Snute got a good one, well, it's might just game over.
The thing about Broodlords is going to be kind of interesting too, though, is Snute does still have Aspire. Making Corruptors is not at all a difficult option for him. But I think I look at Broodlords and I'm just thinking like more fungal growth, more corrosive biles, like good combinations of everything to hold everything in place.
I don't think the Broodlords can actually save him. 3 Broodlords that he can't afford right now. Even if they could, I think they wouldn't add enough DPS.
I like the idea,
man.
But you're right, like the execution is simply not going to be here. Oh, that Infestor does have Burrow, but he's not thinking about using it right now, unfortunately. No detection here, actually. Burrow would be huge.
Yeah, Nerchio's lost what it was like 4 Overseers in his main army, and both, I guess, haven't really noticed it quite yet. But Nerchio holds in a very delicate position. He was down in army supply. His army really was depending purely on Corrosive Biles hitting, but the choke helped him out.
He's getting them good heals.
So Nerchio doesn't quite know it's...
But here's the thing about the Broodlords too, because let's not forget, the Infestors for a lot of things, whatever, they've also still got the ability to launch Infested Terrans out. Like, I really don't think anti-air is going to be a problem. These two are expanding. Brothers in arms down here in the bottom right side of the map.
It's a little odd. Like, it's more than a little odd. So he never took his regular 4th base back. That's still an option. Alright then. Queens are going forward.
And the drone transfer gives away what's going on. Caught in a choke. The Broodlords are out, and these fungal growths don't get any combinations with them.
Yeah, fungling the Broodlords, unless the Hydras can actually reach them, is definitely a waste of fungal.
Yeah, Snute, by the way, throwing down. Oh, this is interesting. You know, I said Corruptors earlier, but the idea of swapping back to Mutas is certainly cool because Nerchio doesn't have his own fungal growths. He doesn't have Hydralisks. So the Mutalisks for killing anti-air is one thing, but their maneuverability is going to be awesome. As he moves in up here as well, this base is undefended. This is going to go down. The hatchery, at the very least, will certainly die.
But Nerchio took out 2 bases. Snoot's only taking out 1. But I guess they're taking out very important bases for each other.
Yeah, this is actually a really delicate situation on both hands. But Snute takes the north side. Nerchio might find that with the drones as he retreats on out. This Mutas, though, I really think are going to be kingmakers, all things considered, though.
Yeah, that's a really cool swap.
I mean, the argument is Nerchio could make his own Mutas, though. He's actually got the money for it, right? He could go for 10 or 11 Mutalisks himself if necessary. It looks like he is heading that direction. But again, the fungal growth combinations are going to be better. If these infestors live, they're not going to at this rate. Rip. Okay, they get away.
He's not retreating his right side, so he just lost, like, 10 roaches. There come the Mutas, and Nerchio realized the situation is now going pure into his own Mutas, and he has now taken an army supply lead.
This, for me, though, is where, again, if Snute keeps those infestors alive, fungal growths win the Muta fight. There's no question about it.
That is true. It's all going to come down to that, though. And Nerchio, I think, is recognizing it as well. He's getting choked in back at home. Maybe his Mutas make the mistake of pumping up.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be dicey. 16 Mutas to 11. Well, Nerchio's still producing them. Snoot's got more of them right now. So forget the fungals for a moment. Even just like an A move situation favors Snute. Pescatarian's coming down too. A little bit of extra fodder. He's going to back away. Use those to retreat. That's not a bad idea.
The corrosive biles will always make it so dangerous to A move.
He's long distance mining. Oh, God.
Yeah, he put the money into infestors. They could make another hatchery, and I guess he just hasn't really thought about transferring his drones to the hatchery he does have.
This ZvZ's gotten really tight here in this final game. He goes in a little bit brazenly. He doesn't realize he doesn't have the advantage going into this. Upgrades actually favor Nerchio too. He's not just got +1 on his side, but +2 for Air's about to finish up as well.
Yeah. This is still a very tight game. You know, Snute getting to a mining base finally. Nerchio's been on a mining base, this base in particular, after killing Snute's, 2 bases, and I do like this move. Just the off chance that burrowing the infestors means that they'll live out of the sight of the Overseer is totally worth it.
There's big fungals on top of the army.
First survival is still available when you're fungled, so he's got to be careful.
Uh-oh. Here comes this Mutas. Of course, that's the other part for Nerchio. With these burrowed infestors, like, you can see the little dragging lines on the ground, but it's really hard to identify. Like, are they close? Are they nearby? Are they far? Snoot's got sharked out infestors all over the map.
It's like sand sharks right now. There's no base to kill here, but he will catch some of the drones.
What's that movie with, like, Kevin Bacon? Tremors. It's like Tremors. Yeah.
Alright, those aren't sand sharks.
Kind of the same thing, I mean.
Graboids, man. The sand sharks are like the thing.
Oh, here we go. There's the big fungals that are going to change the game. Corrosive biles land on top of these Mutas. Big pick off for Snute. But all things considered, this whole time this has been going on, look at the income graph, right? It's all red, baby. It's bleeding red. There's no Snute on the income graph whatsoever, because that's how much Nerchio's been winning the income wars. So he's been able to afford these losses.
By the way, sand sharks like that in Zelda. But he's going for an infestation pit again. Why?
I guess this is yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about this fight, because Nerchio had the upgrades going into it, but I guess the numbers slightly flapped heavier for Snute. Nope, Nerchio turns that around, and Snute's going to lose the Mutas. But the Mutas are not so important for Snute. He only needed those because of the threat of Broodlords, and those have been removed from the field. This is so crazy. I love the constant tech swaps in this game. Like, that's what's blowing me away the most. Where are those infestors? They're trailing a little bit further behind. He's got so many fungals.
I don't know if Nerchio can beat those fungals. Yeah. Oh, Lord.
I mean, the fungal damage alone is not that much, but when you've got 14 of them, 7 infestors, each with 2 fungals, that's so much damage going down on top of the army in an AoE. Not to mention Corsair Biles comboing with it. Muta's getting some shots in here and there where they can. This is getting dicey, though, because Snute's starting to run out of those fungals, but Nerchio's army is all in the red and almost all dead.
Yeah, it is. Like, one more fungal actually would have popped some of these roaches, but I think Snute was running out of confidence. He actually had a couple fungals.
This is that game with Red Dead Redemption. As long as Nerchio wins the game, at least.
I haven't played it.
Well, no, but I'm saying he's red, he's dead, but he's looking for redemption.
Okay. Never mind. I thought you were referencing something specific.
Well, it was the game, but never mind. Doesn't matter. He's going to march across the map. No burrow actually ends up hurting Nerchio so much. He's realizing this now, because if he had been able to heal these roaches, this would have been a very different follow-up for him. But these, again, tattered, injured, slowly regenerating over time. Top side of the map has a Ling run by. We haven't seen Lings in God knows how long, but this is going to be such a good move on a Nerchio to catch Snute.
A couple roaches are going to respond, but they need to find a tight corner in the mineral line.
You know, they're actually really well
okay,
upgraded, so I don't know if they do. At least compared to the pretty much naked Lings.
Well, they're both mining again, so Snute does come back in the income graph, and he's going to put most of those minerals in infestors.
Good God. I mean, the resources lost, too. We look at this, and it looks so bad for Nerchio, and you got to be thinking, like, how is this guy possibly holding onto the game with resources that far behind? But again, the difference here is the advantage Nerchio had for income. So this game, very even, very close, very tight in so many different ways. Lots of trade-offs. Army for army is one thing, but of course, minerals for income, losses for money. Like, this has been one of the best ZvZs I've seen in a while. I'm really digging this game. And the control, I can't even believe these guys have still got this level of control. I'd be freaking out by now.
I would have missed a dozen corrosive biles, all the fungals. The infestors would have A-moved somewhere. Like,
right?
It would have been over now.
Yeah, not in your favor.
Right, exactly. But Snute, I think, does have a favorable position in this game now when everything kind of settles for a second. Ooh. He's going to lose a base, which might take that back.
Yeah, that's the asterisk, because Nerchio just took 2 expansions to the bottom right, so he's happily mining, and Snute, he's not in such a great income position.
I definitely need that base. He managed to bank a little, though, because he was maxed out, so this is not the desperate scenario it was 5 minutes ago. Snute is apparently still going to be useful getting some pot shots. Sure, why not?
Some free damage is free damage.
I wonder why Snute is going for Overlord speed. It's not him that has had to worry about Overseers catching up to his army.
Maybe it's because he wants to position them for scouting, so he sees those sort of attacks coming.
It's a questionable upgrade when you're already down in gas, but he has a really good use for it.
I think I can see some usefulness for it, too, because the slow idle Overlords are not something he would want to lose at this point, either. But man, these 3 mutas, kind of jokes being made. They've actually done quite a bit of damage because they've been left unhindered. Nothing's been stopping them.
Yeah, a couple of bad rallies as well, losing a couple of roaches.
Waiting for those big fungals to come down on top of this army. I kind of forgot, like, the upgrades have been so dynamic and interesting in this game, too, because Nerchio's sitting on +3 weapons. He's dealing a lot of damage, but Snute's also got armor. Nerchio doesn't. So, I mean, in these fights, I actually favor Snute a little bit more, all things considered, but Fungal Growth blankets some of the army, and Snute can choose to disengage. He walks away briefly to get some better shots in. Corrosive Biles landing on top of those Fungals, and this army is all one shot from dead. These are not the money Fungals we're used to seeing, but they're going to make this game tilt. 60 supply remains. Snute takes the series 2-1.
Good game.
Not even a good game, an excellent game, I must say. Like, mwah. Well played by Snute. Also really well played by Nerchio. But Nerchio is unfortunately the one that's going to the loser's bracket. So we'll wish him the best of luck down there. And maybe see him for those finals. But for now, we look at swapping to those main finals. The qualifying round that's about to come up between Snute and DNS. So stick around, folks. We'll see you in 2 minutes. And we should have a pretty good finals ready when we return. Before we go, though, once again, laying it on thick about 2 different things. One, TING. BTTV.ting.com. If you're in the United States, don't be crazy. Check them out. A lot of you guys are locked into contracts. I get that. But hopefully, like, the idea is by the end of the year, you'll realize, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't renew my contract because if I pick it up with TING, I get to pay month to month, cheap as hell, and really good service. The other thing is, of course, the annual Twitch Prime reminder for those who don't know. If you've got Amazon Prime, I'll skip that part for now. You know what? A lot of people just don't remember that Twitch Prime doesn't auto-renew. So some of you are sitting there and you've used your Twitch Prime subs on somebody else or even on BaseTradeTV. And you might not realize it's been 30 days and you have a new one that you can reapply. I would love if you guys would consider giving us your Twitch Prime sub. But for those who don't know, at least remember to use it, period, because it's free money every 30 days that you can give to a streamer. It's not a lot, you know, considering like $2.53 bucks, whatever it is like not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it's free money. So do it. Get on it. But of course, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you are an Amazon Prime user, you actually have Twitch Prime. You may not realize it, but you have Twitch Prime. Go to twitchprime.com and they'll show you how to connect it to your Twitch account. Boom. Free money, free gifts, free games, free cool stuff. Make sure to check it out. The best part is you don't get any ads. So speaking of ads, that's my segue, and we'll see you in a few minutes.